Okay, trying to record again. Apparently there was a little glitch. We're having a storm here with torrential downpours. I don't know if that's got anything to do with it or if it's just Ustream being persnickety. But once again, this was a recording of what was a live Ustream on ustream.tv. I'll notify everybody by every means of social media I can when I decide to go live because Ustream no longer sends out notifications. So, here we go again. Let's try it. Yeah, that's what I did, Gene. I just hit the OK and then went to uh, click the record again. So we'll see how long that lasts. If it keeps dropping off, I'm just gonna say forget the recording and it's once and done. You either see it or you don't. But anyway, I wanted to get spray adhesive. Um, the next one I did because one of the ones I did with matte medium, a heavy matte medium, and it I had a bubble pop up like the size of a, I don't know, half the size of a penny around maybe. Linda will send you pictures of what we're doing from Baltimore. I think you will like it. Oh, who are you talking to, Gayla? Hang on. Somebody asking about Baltimore? No, I don't see anybody asking about Baltimore. Okay. Um, Error. URL blocked. This redirect failed because of the direct URI is not whitelisted in the app's client OAuth settings. Make sure your client and what the hell is that? Okay. Ay, ay, ay. Why is it gotta be so hard? Oh, Linda's asking for what we do this year to see pictures of it. Yeah, okay. So what's going on with everybody? Is everybody good? Everybody still kicking and doing well? Patty, can you screenshot that and send it to me? Nope, I already closed the window. If it comes up again, I will. Yeah, it looked like it was a Facebook error. It came up as a separate pop-up window and it had a note about Facebook on there. So anyway, I don't know if I should try one with matte medium again and see what happens, or if I just go buy the spray stuff and mess with something else. Maybe that's what I'll do. Oh, I hope that nail tapper, Eileen's mom. Oh, she did. Oh, I wonder how old she was. Huh. Anyway, I hope the nail when I do this. Hope she's not listening. Good, Dorothy. Joan will have to do something about that. If Dorothy's manhandling you, we're going to have to do something about that. You're off the hoarder show. Oh my God. 92. Well, she had a really good run. Always sad, though. Always sad. Used her. Use your copper stick. Oh, now you're getting mean. Can you guys hear Dave talking? He's upstairs with the door closed. Happy Diane. Happy birthday. Happy Diane. Glad you could join us. You know what? Screw it. I might just do one with matte medium and we'll see what happens. So let me grab that stuff. I want the heavy duty. Heavy duty. Okay, I got the lightweight stuff. Heavy gel. Here we go. All right, so now do I want to do a blue one? And I'm going to grab another one in this earth tone color scheme and see which one I like best. Oh, this gives me another idea too. Jesus. Hang on. Everybody can hear you on the screen. Hey, hey, hey. So I have a couple other pieces. Oh my God, Oakley's murder. What new goodies you bought lately besides the Smith wheel of color? Yeah, I do, and I do like this. I haven't bought a whole lot of stuff, but I have bought some things. I'll have to look at it, Denise, and figure it out. So I did this one, but I'm not really wild about this one. Of course, I love the Pops of Rose Gold in there, but I don't know. There's this, whatever color that was, put a purple cast in there. You guys see that? It dried down to like a purple, and I forget what it was. I don't know. I don't know if I like that one or not. Then I have this one. And I really like this bit. This is the saddle color of the P.H. Martin Radiant. And that really granulates and moves the stuff around pretty cool. There you go. There's a good shot. See how that looks up close and personal? Really did some cool things in there. But this down here, not so much. Oh, is it me or does that look like a penis? I don't know. They have different sizes, Jean, of that palette. But if you don't have, I think even the largest one of these, well, actually, they have this as an insert. And this comes out of the middle. So that's not quite 9 inches in diameter. And that just drops into the center of this one. And it's Robax, Robax is where this palette came from. They have flat palettes and boards and square palettes and you know, all kind of stuff. So anyway, back to the task at hand. It doesn't spin on its own, and I'm not 100% sure. No, I can't, and I can't really turn it over. The bottom, you can see the divot for each one of these. So it doesn't have, let me just pull this out here. Hang on. This is the turntable for the big one. And see, it's divided like that. And there's a space in the bottom that matches this imprint. And you just have to find it. And it's, there it goes, it settles. And this you can use as a mixing well if these are all the ones you want. Or if you have more, you can drop in this insert and then have a bunch of them. And there are a variety of different inserts that can go into the center section. And they all have lids. But it doesn't appear that this one is a spinny one. Where did you find the big set? That was, it's Robax, Robax engineering.com. I think it's a man in Florida. There you go. over these papers, Diane. If that's what you're talking about, that's one of the things we're going to do in Maryland. So you'll have a go at it. Oh no. It'll sit in it, but it doesn't. See the bottom of this? Watch me dump all this shit out. See how it looks on the bottom? All those wells are, every single one of them are protruding on the back. So there's nowhere for this to find its seat on this raised Y here. Unless I'm a total idiot. Nope, I'm not that bad of an idiot. But if you're okay with it doing a little of this, so you can spin it on something bigger than that, it works. It doesn't snuggle, no. Oh, great mind, CB. So anyway, I do really like it. I stuck a bunch of half pans in here things that I don't have tubes for and may not get tubes for, but I like the colors. And then the other ones are so that you can change it around when you want to. They have these little inserts that drop into the holes, or you can just use the hole, like see these open ones over here. You can just put the paint right in there, which is how they used to do it, but now they came out with these little wells that fit in there, so you can switch them around. Yeah, you could do a lot of things to get it to secure, but it's still bigger than the palette itself, and with it being that small, I'm not sure you'd really need to spin it. Right, Piccola? I saw those. Of course, I'm not a pencil person, but I did see those. I did get a couple boards, though. They had this. It's got a raised area on it. I don't have enough room here with all this crap. But it stands up like so. Don't have any room. On an angle, and then it's got wells here where you can put your paint in and let it come down here to mix. And it's got, what is that, 3, 6, 12 of those, and then you can tape your paper onto this. Did I bump the... Yes, I did. We're all discombobulated. And they have different sizes of these. Hey, Colleen. Yeah, you can put anything in there. I mean, I get the Rachel Beth ones, and then like my own colors that I make, I can put in there. Well, I can put them right in the cups too. But yeah, I have some, what's her name? Tracy Bautista colors, and I have Rachel Beth and Happily We Go, Erin's little pans. I just have to decide what I want in there. And then they have this plain board that you can just tape your stuff on, and I just got a larger one than I had for bigger pieces of paper. Always seems like I'm working on a bigger piece of paper, but I got those too. That was what I did with my birthday money. Got this and those other little bits, and see they come with, let's see if we can reach this without destroying the works. Here's another insert that came with the set that I got that can go in place of this, and then here's a lid for the small palette. If you'd want to, like, some people I hear say they put their favorite colors on this, and then they can cover this and take it when they go off somewhere to paint. And this is the large thing to cover the wheel this way. So, anywho, I bought one of the sets that had quite a few of these pieces with it, and then I got this piece separately from the set. The hardest part is figuring out how you want to arrange the colors. At first, I had them in there Yeah, Jean, I haven't used it yet, but it appears to be very nice, and there's different sizes of those. And I think it's nice that it has the wells on there, and it also has, it's on a little bit of an angle. Yeah, they are big wells. And so I had this originally set up before I labeled it. I had it set up so that I had like all my turquoises like right in here, like a piece of pie. And then blues, and then purples, and then greens and yellows and reds and pinks, blah, blah, blah. And the neutrals I had in the center. And then originally I thought I was going to put all my Primatex up in here, but I didn't for many reasons. Like, I'd want the green with the green and whatever. So anyway, this is without stuff. I'm glad you corrected that, Gayla, because I read your first comment and I knew you didn't mean that. So anyway, what I did is I started here with my favorites. Um, and these are all my turquoise-ish colors around here. And then this starts my blues. Like I have lunar blue, endothrone, indigo, kyanite, sodalite, ultramarine, phthalo blue, all those kind of blues, more true blue, not green blues. And then over here I have yellows going into oranges, going into like gold tones, and then reds. A lot of the quins are in here, quin colors, into pinks and violets, and then we're back to turquoise. And then the greens, I don't have as many greens as I do some of these other ones. I put them around this ring, and then the center ring is all neutrals, and there's some metallics over here. And my lagoon and my rose gold that I make myself, I put the little half pans in there. But the next time I do colors, I make my own, like this size thing. I'm going to dump some right in these wells. That's my plan. Then I labeled the whole thing. I was about cross-eyed that day because this is 6-point font. And it's a production to get her set up. I've got to tell you that. Gayla, you must have it. You must have it really bad. Watch. Watch, Gayla. Watch. You'll get sucked in. Wee, looky. I mean, how can you not? Right? And they make one, I think, what size is this? Hang on. 15. This one's 15 inches. I thought there was an 18-inch one. That might have been the one with the bigger wells that would like hold a whole tube. I don't remember. There were too many options for my little pea brain to remember. Yes, Gayla, if you really should treat yourself. The color wheel of fortune. Mm-hmm. I mean, I don't think it's the greatest thing to travel with, but that's why I have my tins to put stuff in. And I have whole sets that, like, I have the Magello Mission Gold little mini set that comes with the palette for like a full set. And then I have my Schminke full set. So if I really feel as though I need a whole set of colors and not my favorites, I can take those. Anyway, where the hell are we? Totally off track. I haven't streamed for so long, I feel like I gotta sit here and talk to everybody. And that's gonna piss everybody off on YouTube, but sometimes that's what happens. That's what happens. So, what do I want to do here? This one has a lot of the cheesecloth imprints in there. Alright, and it's got, you can see the rose gold little flashes in there. Well, that's the lights reflecting. That's not the rose gold. This one, of course, has rose. They all have rose gold. Who am I joking? And this one has the gauze imprints in it too. And some of that saddle that does really cool stuff through there. It's got a lot of texture to it, but it doesn't have any, like, the black grayed out on me. It didn't stay dark, and I like that pop of black in there. But I'm wondering, I brought over a different piece of paper because I do like this one. Well, I like them all, but I mean, for what I'm doing. And see where it's short? So what I thought, thanks, Dorothy. It's really fun, Diane, and I don't know if you saw me do any of them live before. It really takes no talent. You just have to slap the paints on wet Yupo paper, and the Yupo paper and the water kind of do all the work. But we'll do that. We'll do it. That's the first thing we're going to do Wednesday. Oh, I'm tapping again. That's a bad no-no. So I have this paper. It's kind of like animal skin, but it's real black. So I was thinking maybe I want to try to get this bit, but I want this in here too. So I got to decide what I'm willing to lose. And I don't want to lose either one of those sides. Hang on, let me look at this puppy. But anyway, I was thinking about trimming it with this, so it would have this black around the edges. Remember the other ones I did, I took some of my watercolors, the metallic watercolors, and I painted the black corrugate. Right, so those coming to Maryland should have the supply list and be able to find all this stuff. You like this one, Joan? You guys are making me hungry talking about that. What is that pot called again? What is that pot called? Colleen mentioned the name. Instapot. I don't have one of those. Dave is quite the kitchen gadget guy. So I'm a little surprised that we don't have one. So this is that lagoon paint that changes colors from angles. Sago purple. Green turquoise is in there. Shows up better in person. And this one I did in Indian summer with rose gold in the middle and had some of it blending, thinking I might need 2 strips, which I probably do. What I would do is cut off a piece like this. So I got, this might be the way to go. Although, does that brass, see, this was a color shift too. See that red Indian summer pinky kind of rose color, rose goldish? But when you turn it a certain way, see that bronze coming through that gold? I don't know that brassy color. Let's see if I can grab it on there. Can I catch it? There, it's starting to go brass there. I don't know if that, let me see, if that would go there or not. The rose gold definitely would. And there's the black. I don't know. I'm not liking the black. And I usually like the black. Oops. All right, let's do something even if it's wrong. Let me see what we got here. This is, where's my ruler? $14.16 by 8. 16 by 8. And this is, I think, 15. No. What did I say? What the hell did I say? Hang on. That's rhetorical. Hold on a second. That's a foot. And 14. So this is 16 by 8. This is 12, 14, 11 by 14. This is 14 by 11. So, if I want to use this whole height, hey Debbie! If I want to use this whole height, now I see where I'm out of focus there, aren't I? That drives me crazy. It's crystal clear on my camera, as usual. And it's a little blurry on your side, but I'm not really sure what to do about that. So, this is 14 by 11. All right, so that's 2 inches. I just need an inch up here and an inch down here. Or, I butt this right up to the top. Oh, you know what? Huh. I could cut this in half this way, move this down, and insert this rose gold in the center. Oh, good, Denise, thanks. You know what I mean? So, if I did that, and I only, let's see, how big do I want to make it? Well, that's, good Lord, I can't see with my glasses on. I go tomorrow to get my eyes checked and hopefully find a new pair of frames for my apparently very enormous head. God, that's a miserable job to try to find glasses for my head. See, what I'm looking at here is, see the seam on this corrugate running here and here? I want that, if I do one chunk in the middle, I want that evenly positioned. So, I think what I'll do is grab, I don't want 3 inches. If I take 2.5, okay, I can't see with those on. If I take 2.5, let's do this way. So that would go 1 1/4 and 1 1/4. Right, and that would give me an equal space on either side of this ridge. And that would be 2.5. Thanks, Dorothy. So 2.5. Where do I want to cut this? Let's see. This is like big time. Oh, I don't want to use this good pencil. Where's my little, here we go. My little mechanical cheapo. Oh my God. Did I tell you the story about last time I got new glasses and I was looking everywhere for frames? And I couldn't find anything that fit me that looked decent. And we were at Walmart and Dave said they had a ton of frames in here. Maybe you can find something in here. So I go in and I'm looking and I'm going through the wall. I'm good. It's a huge place. I'm going through here, trying on this, putting it back. The lady's kind of getting tired of me, I guess. And I get to a certain point and I'm like 3/4 of the way through the whole deal. And I put on a pair and they fit. And I was like, hey, these, I'm not wild about them, but they fit. So I put it down and I tried on another one and they fit. I tried on another one, they fit. I was like, hey, Gail, hey, how you doing, Tutty? I tried on like 4 or 5 pair and all of them fit. And I went to put it back in the slot and I looked at the sign on the display, and they were called fatheads. And I screamed, busted out laughing at Walmart and the optical place. The lady that was helping me was very put off at the fact that I was laughing at that I have a big head. I guess she thought I should take that more seriously, but I couldn't do it. So anyway, yeah. Didn't get a frame. They didn't get any frames there. They were all too masculine, but you know, now it's time again to go looking. And these I've used over. I've had a new prescription in these twice, so these are ready for the donation pile. All right, let's do this. I know, we're TV. Good God. What are you going to do? Where's my little mark? My marky mark. All right. There's that. Let's see. That doesn't look great. Oh, Lordy. Let me try something here. I'm not watching chat while I'm trying to cipher. That's a quarter. And that's a quarter, so that's not right. Let me do it this way. It's 2 1/4. I don't care how many times I do this, I somehow always end up screwing it up a little bit. That's all right. We're not dead yet. Close enough. So, all right, let me let's see how we're going to do this. So this will end up looking something like this, with that in the center-ish. So I need to lose, what did I say? This is 14, right? So if I just cut this in half, here's where we usually go wrong. So it's 14, so 7. Where's 7 get me? Gonna lose a little bit of that. Oh, I don't lose too much of that. That's not bad. I was afraid of losing the bits that I really liked. Right? Right, 4, 7, 13. Yep, okay. Yupo's a little tricky to cut on this. This is a really nice cutter and really sharp. And every time you make a cut, it sharpens the blade. But let me see if I can show you what this might do. Now that time it cut okay. Sometimes it leaves a little bit of a feathery layer of the bottom on there. So I like this bit. So if I go right to the edge with that and lose what's over here, I could live with that. And then we'll put this over here. Well, I'll go in the middle because I'm going to cut some of that off, but that's all right for measuring purposes. Bye, Demi. like this darker bit. Oh, I gotta stand up and move away to look down at that right. Oh, Jesus. Oh, here's an ordeal you guys don't know about. Well, you know that I've had bad knees for quite a number of years. Well, we get the puppy, cute as he can be, but Lord of mercy, liked to cripple me the first week we had him because I took that week off to try to potty train him, and Dave had to work the first part of the week. I'm just trimming off this edge here where some of that's not, you know, clean right up to the edge. I'm going to just get rid of that edge. So going up and down the steps, carrying him about 30 times a day. After 3 days, we picked him up on Saturday. Dave was helping me on the weekend. Then Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, I was by myself. By Wednesday, my knees were so blown up, painful. I was really having a hard time walking. So I went to see my orthopedic guy. And I remember the date because it was on my birthday, which was April 11th, right? So I know when it was. So I went in there and he didn't want to give me cortisone because of all the cortisone I had last fall when my neck had that pinched nerve and this hand was dead. I had 2 spinal injections. I had oral steroids. I had a couple other injections because right after that I had bronchitis really bad that my lungs were apparently needed a couple shots of steroids in my butt. Anyway, I had too much steroids. So I get there and he says, I really don't want to give you more steroids, but I think you'll really benefit from some Gel 1 shots in your knees. A long story. We order the Gel 1 shots. As its name implies, it's 1 shot for each knee. So, yeah, so we get the, it takes over 6 weeks to get the product or the medication sent from my insurance specialty pharmacy to my doctor, right? 6 weeks. And they're not getting any better because I'm still carrying them. We're still doing whatever. Dave's doing as much as he can, but, you know, if he's not here, of course, after a few weeks, he was big enough to reach the span of the steps, and he was back okay with that. But damage was already done. Anywho, I go get the shots. The PA comes in to give me the shots. And she starts to go on the inside of my left knee. And she's not doing that great. And I'm like coming up off the table and moaning out loud. And I was like, God, that's really, really not good. She said, oh, I'm sorry. I'm going to have to pull out of there and try another spot. Okay. So she does that. So she pulls out. She goes in another spot on the inside of my knee, just as bad. And then she says, you know, I'm having trouble. Something's wrong. I can't even get the gel to come out of the syringe. Sweet mother of pearl. So she said she's going to go get the doctor. Like, thank you, Jesus. So she goes and gets the doctor, and he comes in. He said, well, first you should go in from the outside of the knee. There's a better entry point. Are you kidding me? So he swabs it, sprays it with the freezy stuff, and then goes in with the needle. And of course, the first time it goes in the joint, it kind of gets your attention. But after that, as he pushed the gel in, it wasn't too bad. So he does that one, then he does the other one. And I thought, well, hell, that wasn't too bad if you know what you're doing. So, yeah, so I left and I said, do I need to do anything special today? He said, resume your normal activities. Don't have to do anything. So I thought, okay. So I left there and I thought, I'm going to stop and get my nails done and get a pedicure. So I went in to do that, and sorry, I can't do too many things at once. I go in to do that, and as I'm sitting there getting my nails done, my knees starting to, like, they're really hurting. And I was like, you know what? I'm sorry. I got to straighten my leg out underneath the table here. And so she moved so I could straighten my legs out, blah, blah, blah. I get home. I could hardly get in the house. My knees hurt so bad. And I mean, like, so I called the doctor's office because it was Friday afternoon. And I thought, here we go. They're going to close up on me. I'm going to be screwed for the weekend. So I called them and they said, well, let me check if that's normal. So they checked and they said, it can happen. Ice and take, what do you call it? Anti-inflammatories. Okay, cool. I can do that. So I'm doing that, and it's like nothing's helping me. It was so bad that I ended up, I had some Dilaudid left over from, I think from my nerve pain thing last year. Anywho, they I had to take a Dilaudid to take the edge off because I could, even when my knees hurt normally, I can get in a position to where I have no pain. It's the transition from between standing up, sitting down, up and down hill, or up and down steps. Other than that, it's not too bad. And I can be completely pain-free if I position myself right. Well, couldn't get in that position. So, took a Dilaudid, icing all night. About 30 to 36 hours, I thought, oh man, this feels much better. Well, that lasted for about 2 days. And after 2 days, these bad boys hurt about as much as they did before the shots. So, yeah, that was fun. But, so I don't know what we're going to do now. The right knee is half, inside half is bone on bone. And the left knee, and it has 5 or 6 bone spurs on the other area. And then the other knee is not bone on bone yet, but has it's eaten up with arthritis, basically. So, yeah, so now we're like back to the drawing board. Trying to dry fit this pretty exact. That's pretty close. So yeah, so now we're back to the drawing board. Apparently the gel one didn't work for me, and I'll have to, figure it out and see if cortisone worked a lot better. Yeah, I know, Jean, a knee replacement is an option. I'm trying to not do that for as long as I can because of how long I'd be laid up. And, the puppy is still, where he needs a lot of maintenance. You can't just let him run off and do his thing. He doesn't have to be carried, thank God. He's almost 40 pounds now. But he has to be on a leash at all times when he goes out back because he has the tendency to eat every rock and stick and mulch and anything, leaf, doesn't matter. Anything that he can get a hold of is going in his mouth, as puppies do. And so I can't afford the downtime anytime soon. And so he said I could. He said he wouldn't say I had to get a knee replacement yet on my right knee. It's half bone on bone. He said, but we could get your insurance to cover it probably since it is half on bone. But he said your left knee really isn't ready. And my mom keeps telling me, just go into the doctor and tell him to replace both your damn knees. I said, Mom, doesn't work that way. Yeah, I know you had good luck, Jan. That's really great. And I said, I can't just go in and say, hey, dude, like replace both of my knees. Thank you. It doesn't work that way. And she didn't quite grasp that concept of there's rules to your insurance. But anyway, eventually I know that's what I'm going to have to do. But it's not going to be this summer. I can promise you that. However bad it gets, and gotta suck it up. Jen, did you have both of yours done at the same time? We have so many steps to get in and out of the house. Those of you who have been here know that. So, let's see where we are here. Trying to dry fit this as close as possible. I think that's pretty good, actually. Okay, that's what I think I'm going to go with. I like that. All right, and this has the rose gold on the black here. That actually focused pretty good there for a change. Okay. Well, I know people that have, I agree, Jean, but I know people who have had them both done. And you did, Dorothy. You had yours done both at the same time. I was thinking, Jan. Oh, no, you didn't. Okay. Yeah, some doctors will do it and some doctors won't do it. So it is possible. I know my ex-husband had both of his done at the same time. Yeah. Yeah, I know people who had it done. And I'm sure it's not pleasant. But, there's some sanity to that crazy thought. Like, get it over with in the first however many weeks. But I can see that if you're very fit and thin and nimble. But if you are dragging around my rear end, yeah, maybe not so much. And then, you hear people like Xandra, God bless her, she's had, and I don't know if her RA's got anything to do with it, but she's had terrible problems, had to have them redone, and now she still has problems and has to have surgery when she gets back home. So I'm looking forward to doing it when it makes sense to do it. But this summer it do not make sense. Okay, let me get this out of the way. And some of the little scrapadoodles out of the way. Yeah, I've had people tell me that after the surgery, they're in such terrible pain. Actually, that's how I described when I called the doctor's office and told them how much pain I was in. I said, I can take a pretty good thump, but I mean, this is not comfortable to the point where I took Dilaudid, which I had left over a couple times where I've had surgeries and I've not taken uh, pain meds after that, because I don't like how they feel and they mess with your innards and all the stuff we don't want to talk about here in the stream. That's not pleasant. So let's try not to do that. Okay, so now we're going to, and you know what I'm going to do before I do this? I can see this is a little, see where that black isn't stark black right there. A little bit of that's rubbed off. Can you see that? I'm going to hit that with a teeny tiny bit of black gesso so that it's pitch black when I get done. And let's see. Lordy. But yeah, they're hurting me pretty bad now again. When I take a leave, that helps, but I also was told not to take a leave so much because it was giving me bad stomach issues with like ulcered spots on my stomach when I had an upper endoscopy done. They said, "Are you taking any aspirin or a leave or anything like that? Because you got little burn marks all over your belly, in your belly." I'm like, great. That's good to hear, Dorothy. Okay, I don't want to get this really wet and have to wait a long time for it to dry. I'll hit it with a heat gun. But I do want to cover that bit up right there. All right, sorry, not watching the chat right this second. Actually, there's little bits like that all around here. I think that's from transporting them back from North Carolina, where they might have rubbed on the one over it, because I prepped a few of these frames. I sure hope this holds well. I don't think I have spray adhesive. I don't ever remember using that for anything. I should probably have 3 cans of it sitting over on the shelf. Yeah, I've had a number of cortisone shots in my knees, Jean, and they do help me. Cortisone, I tell you what, it's a wonderful drug, but you just have to apparently watch how much of it you take, which I knew there was a limit. I didn't know what the limit was, but it really helped when I had those pinched nerves and rendered my right arm pretty much useless for a while. But it hurt, oh, like a friggin' toothache until they got it under control with the cortisone injections and then the oral what was that called, gabapentin they gave me. That's why I had the leftover Dilaudid. The first doctor was giving me narcotics, and when I went to the neurologist, he said, "Why are they giving you narcotics? Narcotics don't work for nerve pain." I was like, "Thank you. I know it doesn't work. I keep telling them this doesn't work, and they keep increasing the Dilaudid." Like, Jesus. So anyway, the gabapentin, it took a little while for it to kick in, but once it did, oh, that was such a relief. And then I had that held me over till I had my 2 spinal injections, and now the only residual, well, knock on wood, I had these 2 fingers are still a little bit numb. More this one, and not here, only on the underneath piece of this finger, and sometimes this one. But lately, and I remembered this after carrying Oakley for God knows how many trips up and down the steps, I said today my neck was grabbing me a little bit a couple days, and around where those discs are degenerating, and it went on like a light bulb in my little head where the doctor said, "Don't lift anything over 10 pounds." Really? So I had been humping him out there. Picked him up the day we got him. He was 15 pounds, and got bigger and bigger. And then when he hurt his leg a couple weeks ago, he was 33 pounds, and we're carrying him up and down the steps for 2 weeks. Yeah, that was great. And although Dave did most of that, I had to do it a couple times, and whew, not pleasant. But so I think I started agitating my neck again. And I thought, I cannot have to sign up for spinal surgery. I do not want to do that at all, or especially anytime soon. So, I don't know. What the hell are you going to do? Let me get my heat gun plugged in. Has anybody, speaking of hospitals, breathing rounds for, oh my God, colon infection, triple bypass. Oh my God, that's terrible. I mean, that's where all the germs are. Everybody used to think that's the safest place to be because of how sterile everything has to be. Not so much. That's where all the germs are in the first place. Heat gun. That didn't take long. Now, is this, that's pretty thick. I think that might be too soft. Let me get a stiffer brush. Oh, sweet mama. Oh, Lordy. This might be the one. It's bigger, too. I'll use this. We'll see how that, or this one. That's too soft. We'll go with this one. Ay, ay, ay. We'll see what we get. If this even fits in the jar. Crap. Is that going to fit in the jar? Yeah. Ish. Okay, here goes nothing, people. Let's get her going. Hang on, let me bring it down a little teeny bit closer. Teeny tiny bit. Not that it's that exciting to watch me spread heavy gloss gel on a piece of unfinished wood. But that's what is required at this time. So that's what we have to do. This is real time, folks, not editing, for your pleasure. Oh, I'll have to show you guys some pictures of Owen. Oh, that kid is so damn cute. He, well, let's see, what's today? This is June. So on the 6th of June, he'll be 18 months. Which I can hardly believe. Patty, how is all the flooding? Oh, whew. We're okay where we are. Yeah, CB. That's Ellicott City. That was a disaster. Again. Terrible for those people. They just finally rebuilt and got everything opened up again. They had determined that to fix the problem, it was going to be, I don't know how many millions of dollars or whatever. And they were talking about getting that work done and getting the budget approved. And instead of being a flood of biblical proportions is how they called it, every 1,000 years, it's every 2 years. And apparently they think that this is happening because of all the development around this little town has caused the runoff to redirect. And I wonder if I have to put any in the back of this. I don't know. And yeah, it was terrible. And we had one ex-serviceman died trying to save a woman. He got washed away. It was terrible. All right. Not watching chat for a minute. Yeah, that first time that Ellicott City flooded is when you guys were here in Maryland with me. Remember that night we had that really terrible thunderstorm? That's the same place that flooded this time. Ooh, this is sticky. Sticky business. All right, I'm going to try. Put a piece of, well, it's going to stick to this. Crap. Oh well, it'll just have to stick. I want to hit this with a brayer and try to be sure I get all the booblas out of there. All right. Yeah, remember how bad it was lightning? We'd see it. We were on the 8th floor, for those of you who don't know. And we had kind of a bird's eye view for all the lightning action that was going around. And unbeknownst to us, that storm was at night, and people were all at Ellicott City's a cute little, real quaint little downtown area, small downtown area. Has little shops and eateries and antique stores and, really cute little boutique-y areas. And, it's a big spot for the summer for people to park and, walk through there, get something to eat, stop and get a glass of wine here or there, shop a little. And the restaurants were packed. And they flooded almost up to the 2nd story of the restaurants. And, they were sitting there at the tables eating, watching their cars get washed away. And people on top of the hoods of cars trying to, survive and get washed down the hills. And it was bad. This time they said it was worse. It was even more water. Another piece of that on a clean spot there. And I'm just going to put a little tiny bit on the back. I want to make sure I get the edges for sure. Notice how quiet I get when I have to concentrate. The older I get, the queen of multitasking, not as good as she used to be. Well, I can't look at this and look at that too, so maybe I'm not that bad with multitasking. I just can only look at one thing at a time. How did that go? This way? Yeah, because this one went this way. Okay. All right. Come on, work with me. I think I'm probably off the screen, but my hands are gluey, and this is, I got to do it kind of quick, so I'm not going to be able to move that at this moment. All right. Got her on there. Grab another piece of deli. And my brayer. So, as speaking of Maryland, as for the Marylanders going this year, I think I have 2 spots left. if anybody else is interested. Oh, another thing that might be a little bit tricky, and we should be okay. And it has nothing to do with the art weekend, but the cookout we're having at the house. We're having some work done. This is not a good idea to be doing this with this big brush. We're having some work done outside on the deck. We're having the deck expanded and a roof put over the existing deck to give us a little more kind of indoor-outdoor space. They just started to put the permits in. I think they're going to start those tomorrow. And construction should take 4 to 6 weeks. But at the point when you guys would be here, we should be able to, the roof should be up, and then I don't know if it'll be finished or not, and the electricity, all the lights run and all that stuff. But the new roof will be up, and oops, the grills will be out on the new part of the deck, so they're out from undercover. So we should be able to function. And most importantly, get Dave up to the grill. Bless his heart. And I'm not watching chat again, obviously. I'm intently trying to not get glue on the painting. But I need to get it all the way up to that edge. So we should be okay with that. So I'll be sending in another communication here shortly and remind everybody, everybody still has till the 1st of July to pay off their balance. And I'm really excited about CC joining us this year. That should be a lot of fun. So if you know of anybody else that was interested, I wonder if Eileen would want to come this year, given the circumstances. Because that was always why she didn't come in the past, is because she had to care for her mom. I wonder if that would be a nice escape for her if she was able to join us. Did her mom just recently pass? I've been so out of the loop, and I hardly ever look at Twitter. If you guys are trying to reach me, if there's anything ever on fire and you need to reach me, don't do it by Twitter. Oh yeah, we'll be fine one way or the other. Even if it's the weather's been so bad and they're far behind, then we'll just do it inside, and Dave will figure out the grill part. That's no big deal. Oops. We know everybody's coming to see Oakley instead of us anyway. I'm here, Tammy. Here I is. Now this is tricky because you can't push on the corrugate because you're going to knock down the ridges, you know? So you can't really push on them hard enough to get it to really adhere. I don't have I wonder if I take a skewer, if that's too big to go in between. I can kind of go in between those. I just don't want to scrape off any, I'll just do that. I'll let it roll and press it into the low spots. That seems to be doing okay. This will be a slow process to cross this whole thing here, but it seems to be working okay. Oh, am I brilliant? No, I think somebody actually mentioned this to me one time before, but their idea was to stick a skewer in the hole to put it inside of the hump. This is real fine. There's just this skewer, as small as it is probably 8 times too big. You need a, I don't even think a fine toothpick would go in there. Not looking at chat. Not a very good host today, am I? I just realized I forgot to take my rings off. I finally decided after about 1.5 years to go back to get my nails done again. And I got a new thing done. Of course, they're all boogered up now with glue and stuff. But, and this Friday I need to get them filled again. But, you know, I used to always get a pink and white French. And now, pardon the glue boogers, but I got what they call an ombre pink and white where they blend it. You know how they do the ombre hair now where it looks like you have roots growing, but it blends from one color and transitions to another color at the end. So I got ombre nails done. So go to focus. Yeah, maybe not. Anyway, you get the picture. You get it. You put these brushes in some water. And I think we're going to call this one Dunzo. And I might have to come back and touch up the black around the edges. Yeah, I'm going to have to touch that back up again. Oh, yeah. So anyway, let's see if I can show you what that looks like. I'm going to try to get some of the texture to show on if I can get it close up. There you go. See some of that gauze. It's peeled off, but it still kind of looks 3D-ish. And there's the corrugate. And there's the other bit. Got a lot of those lunar colors in there that granulate. There you go. You can see it a little bit better. So there you go. Oh, so she just passed. Okay. Anywho, that's where we ended up with that one. Let me pop back out again. Try to get it all in one shot. I'll go this way. There you go. You get a little bit of more of a gist of the colors in it and how it kind of catches the light. I like it. I like it. Oh, sweet Lord of mercy. Getting old is not for sissies. It's not for sissies. Oh, you know what I was going to show you guys? I got to run upstairs and get it, though. So talk amongst yourselves. I'm going to go get a package I got from Creamer. I don't know if you guys sign up for their emails, but the Creamer Watercolor place had a 20% off everything sale a few days ago. Hang on, I'll be right back. Oh, Joan, I wanted to ask you, did you order a watercolor pad of paper to have sent here. I got one that I didn't order, and I'm pretty sure it was you ordering a certain size. Hang on, what are we doing? I love the nails. Oh, thank you. Creamer. Who's Jim? Is that Napa Jim? Oh, I'm out of breath from running up and down the steps. Not that I can run with my knees, but you know what I mean. I'm waiting to see if Jim answers who Jim is. You guys know my friend Jim. He used to go by Wine Country Jim, so I'm guessing that's my buddy Jim there. When I went to Petaluma, I got to meet him in person. Yes, I did. For like 3 minutes because we were on a wine tour for work. But we were like 10 minutes from his house, so God bless him, he ran over to get a chance to say hi for a quick hug. Yes, hey Jim, how are you? We got to plan better next time, my friend. So here's something new that I got. This company is called Fabulous Fancy Pants. I haven't even opened this yet. And this is some black watercolor paper. Yes, Pat, that is yours. Okay, Joan, I thought it was. So I got some black watercolor paper. There's another place that has some black paper too, and Cece's place in Wine Country Man. There you go. Cece's bringing me some from a place that makes it by hand in Montreal. And I assume that's what these guys do too, because it's very hard to find. And this is called Blemished. I got 5x7 and 8x10s. So we'll play with this sometime and see what we get. Yeah, actually, Darren asked me what to get you, Jean, from Creamer. And I told her that, you know, when I see you, you're usually doing landscapes or still life or something like that, kind of more realism. So I thought you'd make more use out of the, you know, the regular palette. Have dinner or lunch and wine. Bring Dave. Oh, bless your heart. I would love to do that. I really would. So here's this paper. It's real rough edges. It's black on black, so I don't know how much you can see it. But you can see this one has some speckles on it. I'm not sure what that's about, but the other sides and all these other ones seem to be cleaner. So anyway, we'll try that sometime, but it's 100% cotton rag. So I did get that, but this is a box. I got some stuff that I've been wanting to get from Creamer, and then when I saw that, I wanted to get some more pigments, because God forbid I run out of the stuff I need to make my rose gold watercolor. Can't have that happening. So I got another bottle of each of those. Hang on, I'll show you what all this stuff is. And then you remember when I thought I probably need a glass Muller, right? So I can do my watercolors right. And I ordered one. I thought I only do small batches. I just need a small one. Well, I ordered a small one. And that's what I got. For my big hands, it's kind of awkward to use this. And I don't really know the right way to use the stroke or movement. Yeah, so that's the small one I got, right? Keep that in mind. So I thought, you know what? I'm going to get a bigger one. And they have some that say made in New York on them. And it showed a picture of them, and it showed a picture of it sitting on a ruler, and it looked like the base of it, like this base, the widest part, was 3 inches on the ruler. Well, I opened up my large Muller, and there she is. I can hardly pick it up with my weak hand. It's large. It's a big one. And she said that because they're handmade, they don't always come out about the same size. And I thought, that's got to be bigger than 3 inches. And I haven't done this yet. But let us see what this is. Watercolor. Oh, you found a starter set. Oh. Do you have a plate to go with it? I don't have anything specifically made to go with this, but I thought I could just use a piece of glass, plexiglass, or glass cutting board. Debbie, if you have a chance, would you send me the link to on like via Facebook or something, where you, not Twitter, because I never, I forget to get on there even, or email me if you have my email address, or where you will get that. I know, Gayla. I knew. I was waiting for somebody. Yes, this is all from Creamer, Jim. It's Kremer if you go to Google it. And they have a place in New York City. They're German, but they have a place in New York City. Yeah, thanks for that, Gayla. But yeah, it's heavy. I don't know. It's got to be a few pounds. But yeah, there's my large glass Muller. And there's my small glass Muller. Put those aside. Try not to drop it on my foot. Oh, there's Kathy coming out of the lurking stage to make her little crackpot comment. So, you guys know that blue lagoon, the Pacific Lagoon that I like. I wanted to make sure I had more of that, so I got a larger bottle. This one's 50 grams. Yeah, this one's 50 grams. And let me show you. Do I still have samples of what that looks like for those who might not know? I had swatches at one time. What did I do with those, I wonder? Oh, here we go. I think they're under here. Yeah. Oh! Had a little craft latch there. So these are the Creamer. These are my metallic ones. And this is just on black bond paper. But, I mean, they are awesome. But here's the different colored ones. This one got kind of crunched. But this one on the bottom, this long bit here, is the Pacific Lagoon pigment. And see how that color shifts from purple, turquoise, and a green in there. I don't know how well that's going to show up, but it's very apparent in person. See the purple go into purple, bright turquoise. You know that's my favorite, so had to have some of that. But anyway, it's really awesome. When you mix it up, it looks like that in a palette. It looks like an interference color. But when you put it on dark, oh, it had pigments and everything with it, Debbie. Hang on, let me click on her link so I have that page up. Thanks, Deb. I'll have a look at that, but I don't need the Muller, and I don't use basic pigments. I use, you create a frost when you prep the glass the first time. Oh, okay, and then that kind of is what grinds it, the Muller against the glass. Groovy. So anyway, I got a bigger bottle. I had 2 of the small bottles, which actually, I think I'm going to pour them all into one. Oops. Pacific Lagoon. Magic Fire. I thought I had 2. Oh, and maybe I already condensed these. Because these bottles don't hold as much as you think they do. They're by weight. And this stuff is really light. Huh. I must have already dumped the 2 in here because this is a 10-gram bottle, and see how, well, there you can see how, let me get it level. That's filled up to here for 10 grams. So this one is 50 grams and it's filled up to here, but it goes by weight. I was scheduled to go to Creamer to learn how to make watercolors at their place in New York City with Zandra, and Cece was coming down from Montreal, and Amelia works and lives in New York City. She was going to join us. We had the class paid for. Cece had flights booked. Xander and I had it all logistically planned. How I was going to drive to her house, pick her up, go on the ferry. We had a hotel booked. Had it all done. And that's when my neck problem gave out, and I literally could not use this hand. It felt like trying to type. I had a baseball glove on it. I mean, it was not good. Hey, Amelia, just when I'm mentioning your name. So I want to just knock that. I'm trying to be careful because I don't want to get this airborne. I don't know what I'll do with that, but it's kind of cute. Maybe I'll do something with it. Let's throw that over in that pile. And it went to the floor. So see, it's still, you know, that's not even near full. But Lord, it's strong tape. I got some half and full pans, and I really like their pans. They're kind of skinnier around. Hey, look at those though. I know, I guess they're off white. So anyway, I got the bronze, which I already have a big one like this, but I didn't want to run out of that because I'm going to try to make a bunch of this stuff for giveaways, for door prizes for July. So hopefully I'll get some of this mixed up. But here's the silver, and the these are the 2 pigments I combined to make my rose gold. So I got those. And then there was a pigment called Cougar Red, and I just could not pass it by. Anything called Cougar Red, I had to give it a little try. I was once a cougar in a previous life. I didn't know if you knew that. That's a story for wine and a late night in July. But that's pretty cool. It's really pretty. It's coming out more orangey on the screen than it is. It's more like that's more the true color at that angle. Maybe, oh, you know what? I bet it's a color shift. I bet it's a color shift color. Let's try something. Let me see. I had a piece of scrap paper around here somewhere. This. Let me see. It's probably a bad idea to do that, isn't it? I'm going to do it anyway. Sometimes my bad ideas are the best. And this is just pigment on the paper. This is not. Get a smidge more water. This is not mixed with any kind of medium or anything. This is, I just want to see if it color shifts. Let me bleed it out down here a little bit and see what it does. Okay. Cap that bad boy. All right, we're going to have to let it dry a little bit, but already that's looking pretty smashing. I think it's got a little color shift in there. I think it's got a violet kind of raising up in there, which I think makes the base color of it look more that red, orangey, warm color. We'll let that dry a second and see where we go with that. Uh-oh. Hold on. spider. Oh, he's fast. You little rascal. You live another day because you're fast. But show your face again and you're mine. Sorry for any spider lovers out there, but Mama don't play that. Okay, let me put this stuff away. I'm going to have to get a whole new cabinet for my molar. Oh, I know what I wanted to do. So I had... I'm going to keep that separate. I had this... Actually, CB, I thought of you when I saw that. Maybe because it's called Cougar. I don't know. But something made me think of you. But you did something with this kind of color. Didn't you do a box or something that kind of had that color scheme on there? Oh, why do I look at it that direction? Yeah, that's CC all day. I have to make you a little pan of that. That red color, Jan, it's called Cougar. Oh, hang on, let me flip this off. I can't take this one right now. I have to call them later. It's called Cougar Red. What is causing the shadow? Something's weird about the light. Hello, are you going to focus? Because what you need is the number. There we go. It's 10 grams. Where's this number you need right there? 50450. That's the easiest way to find it on the Creamer site. Their site is really confusing to me. On the left-hand side, there's a nav bar. Look under, what the hell does it say? Pre-made pigments or something. And then you'll find iridescent pigments, dry pigments in there. But see what this name on there? That zero, what does it say? Come on. Xerolic? However that's, I don't know what that means, but there's different ones. It's NXT, blah, 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 Cougar Red. If you put in Cougar Red, you'll find it. If you put in this number, you'll find it. But that's what that is. It's nice. And then these are the ones I use to make my rose gold. This one is, here's another weird name. Erodian. Oh, wait a minute, hang on. I can't really see it. Here. Iriodin. 500 bronze. But that number, oh, this one's 100 grams. 50300. And then my first batch that I was making the rose gold with, where the hell did I put? Oh, here, it's right in front of me. Good Lord. It came in a bag like this. So I put it in here. And it was called Satin Silver, and the number was 500008. And that's what I mixed with this to make rose gold. I don't see this 50008 on their site anymore. So I called or emailed them, I don't remember. And they're telling me that this is the same thing. It's called by a different number for some reason that I didn't understand. But this one is called Sterling, Silver with a B. It's Sterling Silver. And this is another Iriodin color. And that number is just 50,000 basically. But they're saying that this and this are the same. That sometimes they're labeled for use with acrylic, sometimes they're labeled for use with watercolor. I think that was the reason. But this is the same pigment. Patti, is that the famous ring that flew off your finger in Chile? I believe it is. It was one of these. I think it was this one. Just for you, Gayla. But yeah, that's a fork. It's actually 2 tines of a fork. Luckily, my arthritic knuckles help keep those on. But it's just 2 tines of a fork bent around. I got that when we were in Ocracoke with Jody Old's retreat a couple years ago. More than a couple now. It's going to be, I don't know. I can't count. But I was going to put this in here. That's going to be a lot of airborne pigment, and I don't have a mask on now, and it does have different numbers, so I'm just going to keep it separate to see if there is a difference. But the Pacific Lagoon, that's that one that flashes purple, green, turquoise. That's a Prisma pigment. And again, I don't know what the hell makes these different. And that's Pacific Lagoon Magic. And the magic is the color shift in it. That's the magic. And that's the number 50659. And let's see if this dried yet. Yeah, that's pretty much dry. Looks about the same as it did. But it does shift a little bit. You see a goldness in there, then you see like a violet, hot pink kind of color coming up. I don't know if you can see that clearly on TV, as my mom would say. But that's pretty cool. Now this is with no, yeah. See how it's spreading out there. I'm just moving. It has no medium to make it stay. Oh, and look, my finger's pretty. It has no medium to make it adhere to the paper, which I knew when I put it on there. Your goodies from Jody Old Workshop. God, where are they? I still have my bag partially packed. I'm telling you, it's been a hell of a few months. Believe me when I tell you that. Let me get these out of my way. So the first day I was at Jody's, it was like a free day, play day kind of thing. Everybody brought in whatever they wanted to work on and just kind of played. And that's the day that I made those Yupo papers like I just mounted on that board. Oh, I got these too. I just happened to see these peeking out, and I got the two different sizes of them because I thought when I got using them, I probably would use them. And I'm thinking what I'm going to do. These are these little, I see a lot of people on YouTube using these, so I thought, probably should get some of those. And I did. They're porcelain stackable little mini palettes, right? But I'm thinking for the one on the top with the lid, that's going to be full of rose gold at some point. I can promise you that. And these are the same thing, but a smaller. I think these are 3 and these are 4-inch, I do believe. But they're little porcelain palettes. What are you mixing these powders with as a binder? Good question, Jim. I will show you, my friend. I am using the Creamer Watercolor Medium. Let's see if there's a number, 100 mil. Oh, there is a number, 79260. And this is my favorite so far. I have some of the Schminke medium. I have just gum arabic. I forget what all I have. But anyway, this is the one I like the best. And of course they recommend it with their pigments. But this one, yeah, I know, not to breathe the pigments. I know. That's why I didn't dump that other one in there because I don't have a mask on now. But this is formulated with gum arabic, honey, and glycerin is already in here. So like if you're using the gum arabic and you'd want to add a little bit of glycerin or honey, you got to figure out that formula and add it, and it's already thinking out of it for you right here. And these watercolors, in my humble opinion, from the little bit that I know, and you guys know I know enough to be dangerous. Let me show you what I mean. Hang on, where are they? Here. Here's my little palette of these pigments in here are all creamer pigments. And I bought, when I first saw these, and I can blame Anna Victoria Calderon for this purchase. I follow her, and I take her classes on, what's that called? Skillshare. And she's one of my favorites. And she had this palette out in front of her that she was using, and she did a couple things with these different little metallics on this goldy pinky side over here. I thought, good Lord, look how luscious they look. So I figured out where they were from and blah, blah, blah. So I get to the website and I thought, well, no, you know what? This isn't the first pigment. This isn't the first one I saw of hers. There's another palette they have. They sell at Creamer. Like this one you can buy like this and you get all these pigments in it, right? They have another one that's called a gold retouching pigment palette. Gail, bite me, bite me, bite me. Oh, God bless you. There's another palette called a gold retouching palette, and it had several of these yellow gold colors that are on here, my little cheat sheet, right? And I think it had a silver, but then it had a red, a couple yellows, a black, I forget what else. But I thought, I'll never use those colors. If I want to buy that for the gold colors, why not just buy the golds I want and make my own palette? So that's what I did. Well, then, as I'm watching Anna Marie again, or Anna Victoria rather, I see her have this pigment open, this palette open using this, and I thought, holy mama. So I did duplicate a couple golds when I went on a mad purchase for this, but so that's what's in here, but like this, right? And this is the rose gold that I made, which is here. And this is the Blue Lagoon I made. But let me show you something. I'm going to show you on a piece of black. This is just copy paper, black copy paper. But it'll serve its purpose. But what I want to show you more than that is how these re-wet. These are dry. These have been in my cupboard here. They're not wet at all. And this is the rose gold that I made. So my brush is wet. Hopefully you guys can see this. That's already coming out of there like butter. Right? It's really luscious. It re-wets and it's silky smooth. And that's my rose gold. We'll bleed it out a little bit and see what it does. Blue Lagoon's the same way. Put that in there and move it around just a tiny bit. And you got a brush full of pigment. And this is the Blue Lagoon. The one that shifts. So once I got sucked into that color shifting world, shoot, I lost track of what I was going to say. I know that could be a shocker to you. Oh, I know what I was going to say. So once I saw the beauty of these, that's when I start buying the loose pigments and kind of making my own stuff. What the hell is it? Hold on. There we go. Okay. So I just have a few in this one here, but these look like they're not much going on in there because they're those interference colors. But these I mixed myself from all the Creamer dry pigments, the different varieties of the ones that I got. And see if I can bring it a little bit closer. Hey, where's my little cheat sheet? Oh, there it is. Mirror Magic. This one's called Mirror Magic Sun Gold. And these all lift equally as easy. Where are you? And this is a really pretty bright, knock your socks off gold. I mean, I've got a lot of gold watercolors because I love metallics, but this one is probably the most heavily pigmented one of all. when that dries. Now, see how that pigment's just jumping around in that water? Mama, like that. There's the lagoon. There's the rose gold. Um, it's nice. It's really nice. And then this one is called the Mira Star Gloss. And this is almost like a, this one's a little bit harder to wet, but not much. And it's more, almost looks like silver glitter in watercolors. But when I do the, those galaxy stuff, right? That's what I use. And this one, I combined both of those pigments to make this mix of that one. Just to play and see what it would do. And so that's this, a mix of the both of them. And you can see it when it dries, that it comes out with both of those pigments in there. But it's really flashy, gotta tell you. Let those dry down, you can see the silver more in this one here on the end. It looks mostly yellow, but it's in there. You're gonna have to trust me. Yeah, these colors, any interference colors or metallics, you put them on black, they will knock your socks off. So this one, see, let me flip this around. This one's called Diamond, Pearl Luster Diamond Turquoise. Hello, lover. I'll show you these when they dry. And this is called Mira, M-I-R-A, Magic Turquoise. So this one's Diamond Turquoise. This one's Magic Turquoise. And the Magic are generally the color shift colors. Look at you. And this is a Mira Magic Lilac. Oh, hell, I dipped my brush in the wrong one. Well, we'll just go with it. Put a little bit more water in here. And you can see against the black bristles of the brush what that color is going to do. See, doesn't that look weird how it's white in the palette, but on the brush it's that hot violet? And it is hot violet. That should have been my stripper name. Hot violet. If only I had ever been a stripper. This one's called Magic. Hell, made me drop my brush. Got nervous. This one's called Magic Fire. This one's really creamy. And I forget what all, I think this is the one that's really strange. I can see it already in here. This is the one that goes from a red to a green. And as it's starting to dry, you can see that. Well, you can't see it on that. You just have to trust me. It's almost red here. There you go. You can see that red coming up in it. But wait till that dries and I'll show you what I'm talking about. I'll show you what I'm talking about. It is magic. And this one's called Magic Lapis. And again, these are all dry pigments from Creamer mixed with their watercolor medium. Right? What's that one? Magic Lapis. And that to me doesn't look like lapis, but I believe it flashes between this green and the lapis color. We'll see. And this one is Magic Violet. Maybe that should have been my stripper name, Magic Violet. I don't know. I think I like Hot Violet better. Not that it really matters at this juncture. Last year, Joan got, and I know it because I ordered it for her for when she got over from England. She got that one palette that I saw, I showed you earlier that Anna Victoria had, that was on the black swatches. It was the, it's called the Pearlescent palette. That's the one Joan got. Yeah, right, Jim. Very wise man. Okay, so that's all of those. I'm going to let this open and let it dry. You know what? Let's do... What time is it? Oh, my battery's almost dead. I didn't plug it in. Hold on. Good thing I went to look at the clock and saw my battery. There we go. It's almost going to go dark. All right, I'll let this... Some of these are still a little wet. We'll let that dry a little teeny tiny bit more. But I'm itching to, and I don't even think I'm going to break out my Muller yet, my big boy. I want to make a pan of this red Cougar. So let's do that, shall we? This and this. And I need a full pan. And I need, you know what, I'm just going to do it on palette paper. That will work for now for just doing one. I'm not going to do a mass production. Actually, you know what, I'm going to do a half pan so I can throw one in here. Maybe I'll make a hole and a half. Hole and a half, hole and a half. Sorry, a half pan. Okay. That's what we're going to do, Jim. And believe me when I tell you, I am no expert at this. I kind of wing everything that I do in my whole life. So we shall continue to wing it and whip up a pan. I mean, I'm not a master by any stretch. However, I've been able to do these and actually use them. So they're working. They might not be right, but they are working. I think I'll use this knife. Oops, hang on, my windows are getting all jumbled up here. I'm trying to do something with my left hand, which I should never do. Okay, so let me bring you in a little tighter. All right. So this is the red Cougar. And of course this knife is not going to fit in here. So I'm just going to grab one. This is fine. I'm just going to pull out some of this dry pigment. And I'm being really careful with this. I don't want it to go airborne. And I don't know how much it's going to take to make a pan and a half. Let's try that and see what we get. And I just make a little like mashed potatoes and gravy, making room for my gravy. Let me get a little pipette. This one's kind of dirty looking. What did I do with that? Lord only knows. Where are they? My little spinny wheel here. Okay. I can use this one, I think. So I'm going to grab some of the creamer medium. And this generally takes more than you'd think. I'm not going to put in as much as I think right now. I'm just going to put in enough to get it going. And then basically, And this is a real powdery pigment. Some of them are more granular, almost like a fine, fine salt or glitterish. But this one is a real fine powder. But when you get it going, you can see that looks like molten. I don't know if you guys can see that or not. Looks like molten red lava where the metallics start to kick in. I'm not going to lift that up because it's really runny right there. And I don't want to lose my little puddle. Oops. See how that sprayed out there with that one little touch? I think my mistake of trying to use my Muller before was using it on a palette paper. Because it's not like the same as using it on glass, right? I'm not really watching the chat right now. I'm kind of paying attention to what I'm doing. I don't want any fluff-ups. But I do want a little bit more medium in there. It's still a little stiff for my liking. It makes it hard to get it in the pan when it's that thick. And this might only be enough for one full pan. When you get these pigments wet, they really, the volume reduces a lot more than what you thought it would be. At least it does for me. I need an offset one. This one, it's kind of small. I'll use this one here. I'll use this one here. This one that's teardrop shape is good for a while, but when you need to start scraping it off the paper and getting it on, you need that flat edge to really get it back into one pile. It's really, really yummy. So will that fit in here? I think it's more than a half pan, but not quite a full pan. So what I try to do, after it looks like that's really worked in there well, and I'm anxious to try mulling it. You know, it's hard to find videos on YouTube showing people mulling watercolors with a glass muller and the setup. I thought it would be a little easier to find, and I just kind of scoop it on the back of this. Kind of scrape it in there, and it's liquidy enough that it's kind of settles and finds its own level. That's most of a pan. Oops, where are my... Is it going to focus? Probably not. And you're not going to focus. There we go. It's starting to focus. There we go. There we go. So it's almost at the top there. I'm going to do, while I got this munged up here, I'm going to do a little bit more and put a half pan so I can put it in my palette here. And if I have a little more than what I need, I'll top off this one with it. Make my gravy boat. Not my gravy boat, but you know, my gravy hole. That doesn't sound right. That doesn't sound right. Let's try that. And then sometimes I start getting a little fancy and start mixing a couple together, a couple pigments together. But I don't know what I would mix with that other than maybe throwing in some, maybe a gold or a bronze. And this will take a day or so to really set up good. Longer than, this one's kind of watery, so longer than that probably. Let me try to get this one going here first. This one has more surface area down there and can really get it mushed up quicker, but when you go scraping it like this, then you got a problem with that rounded edge. That's a little too thick and pasty. Yeah, Gene, we might have to recommend a full hazmat suit. Sometimes it's weird. It looks like the medium wants to just keep rolling out of the pigment. So I'm thinking that's where the Muller might really come into play, of really getting it to become one thing instead of two things, if that makes sense. See, this one's thicker because I didn't use quite as much medium, but it's still good. Just about right. So there we go. Now I've got a hole and a half of that. How to use the glass muller is easy and much more efficient. Just use a circular motion with some pressure. Do you need a proper grinding plate? That's what I need to get, Dorothy. I'll have to look at that link Debbie sent me and see if they have something like that on there. And you'd be surprised how difficult that information is to just come up with. Trust me when I tell you. Okay, so let me get rid of this. Get that into some water. And get this into some water. And get this one into some water. And of course that pretty much washes right off. Trying to clean out my pipette. Enough to use it again. Oh, look what I have now. Pink champagne water. Can you guys see? It looks prettier on the side. Watch me dump the whole damn thing out. Yep, that's getting risky. And I'm going to get rid of this. And the crapper. And I'm going to try to do a swatch of this, even though it's still wet and probably shouldn't do it. I'm going to do it. Oh, yeah, cool. Thanks, Debbie. I appreciate that. Okay, so now for my next trick, I'm just going to take a little teeny tiny bit of this. It's still wet, so it's going to come up, you know, right away. And let's see what this one does. Didn't take as much. It's kind of resisting the water on my brush a little bit. I thought that would be too much pigment on my brush, but it's resisting my I don't know if you can. Oh no, I'm off camera. Sorry. When I'm zoomed in like this, it's kind of resisting that. I don't know if you can see that, but it's going away from my brush until it dries, I guess. Like I said, I know enough to be dangerous about this, but it seems to be working. Okay. All right, you little rascal. I'm going to sit you right in there to set up. And this one I'm going to set over here and let that dry over the next couple of days. So here's those pigments that I showed you before. They're dry now, except for the one I just did, of course. But here's that rose gold that I really like. It's hard to get the rosiness. It looks more silvery on camera, but it's definitely a rose gold. Here's the Blue Lagoon. Goes purple and turquoise, and it gets a bright like bluish green in there, which sounds like turquoise, but it's different if you catch it right. But those are those color shifts. I could just eat this piece of paper. And here's that gold star. No, gold. I don't know what it's called. If I need to look it up, I can look it up again, but I don't know what that's called. But that is I'm trying to get it to, there we go. That's some flashy gold stuff. Now here's the silver, and that's not near as pigmented. It's a lot of pigment in it, but it comes out, you know what I mean? You see what I mean? The difference in how thick this is and how thin that is. And that's the mix of the two, the silver and the gold together. You can kind of see it in there on camera. And these are the other, I forget, this was diamond turquoise on the end. And this one I think was magic turquoise. But I don't see it shifting. Is that a magic one? But it is gorgeous. I can tell you that much. Yeah, it's got kind of an indigo-y little flick in there. And then the, what's that called? Magic Violet. And this is the one that's called Magic Fire, I think. This one here on the end. I'm going to try to hold the paper tight so you can see it shift. It rolls from a reddish pink to a green. It's kind of, oh, where the hell's the camera? Good Lord. When it's zoomed in like this, it's really hard to find the sweet spot. See, my lights in here are not letting it show up right. You're just going to have to trust me. And this one is Lapis, which it does get to a lapis color, but what looks like there is like a mint green. But can I make it? Now see what I'm looking at from right here, it's got a blue color to it. Now how can I show you that? That kind of a little bit shows you, but that looks more white, silvery. Oh well. And this is the violet one. Close up, it's too much of this light hitting it. And here's the one I just made. That one's still too wet to get the real metallic showing you there. But it's better to look at them further away than when you can see the true colors and not that light bouncing off of them. Although I still can't get this fire to show you right. Oops, lost the focus. There we go. Darn it. Anyway, there you go. That's all she wrote for that one. What's it, 7 o'clock? Mama gonna have to go get something to eat. We had a birthday party we went to at a Chinese restaurant. It was really good. They had a huge buffet that they set up for them. And but that's wearing off. Mama gonna need something to eat. So I will bid you all adieu for now. Glad I was able to finally stream again. Thought I forgot how, since we got the little critter. I haven't streamed. And what's that been? We got a March 24th. I'm going to show you a couple pictures. See if I can show you a couple pictures. Hang on. I just took this one earlier today. With the little, oh, wait a minute. Let me get zoomed down a little bit. Oops. Hang on. Now I can control how close it is. That's Mr. Oakley. He's getting bigger. He looks like a little dog now and no more baby. There's a little goomer. See, Jane? Thanks, CB. There, you can see more. Well, you can't really see how big he is, but... Thanks, Denise. Let me find the little... You saw probably the one on with him and Babe. He's a cute little booger. That's the only... Here's what I wanted to show you. Here's some of Owen. When Chelsea puts a hat or sunglasses or both on him, he just leaves it on like the whole day. So they were at Home Depot or something. She said now he wants a tractor. Little screwball. Where's this other one? She sent me a couple good ones the other day. This one's cute. He was at the zoo climbing on some rocks with his baseball cap on backwards, looking like a badass. It's a year and a half now. Oh, here we go. This is the one I thought was funny. We've always been big boaters. We've always had boats in our family. So I was driving my dad's boat, sitting on his lap with my hands on the wheel with diapers on. And yes, that's when I was a year or so. Not recently. But here's Owen on a friend's boat. Look at his little docksiders. Oh no, those are his Crocs. He loves his Crocs. And his little hat on backwards. Oh God, that kid kills me. Here he is from the back. Look at him. She always dresses him so cute. Little goo. Oh, this one's funny. Here he is, brushing his teeth, sitting on the vanity with his feet in the sink. I can't tell how much of this you can see. That's still not coming in, but look at his little feet in the sink. Oh, Lordy. Oh, here's this one. I thought this was cute. You can't see what he's doing, but he's looking at my brothers over here. He's looking at his grandfather. Look at that sweet little thing. And the abs. I'm taking off the 11th, and Chelsea and I are going to go do something with the little goomer. Where's the ones of him and Chelsea? They're really cute. Huh. I thought they were more recent. I know I'm probably boring everybody by now, but too bad for those of you who don't want to see them. You're going to have to see them anyway. That's the way I roll. Somebody will poo-poo me saying, just stick with the art. We don't care about your family. And to them, we all know what I say, don't I? Don't we? That's him and Chelsea at a wine festival. There was a really pretty picture of them, though. Maybe I didn't put it over from her text. Chelsea. Here we go. She's such a pretty girl. God bless her. The June the 2nd, it was 8 years that her mom passed. Janine, my sister-in-law. I don't know where I am in the camera. But, and this little guy was born on Janine's birthday. For those of you who don't know that, this one's cute. Focus! Well, everybody looks good blurry, but... ah, crap. Well, you get the picture. That's right, Denise. So, all right, kids. Mama going to roll and get something to eat. And thank you so much for hanging out with me. I appreciate it. And I'm glad to be back amongst the streaming live group. I'm going to have an avalanche here in a minute. I'm trying to put that stuff away. And I'll try not to be a stranger for so long. Again. Anyway, thanks, guys. Catch you on the flip. Hang on, let me kill my recording.